200 days? Nah, let's talk about 100 shards. Hello everyone, Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and we are here today on the Free to Pause account because we are going to be pulling shards. It is a 2x event. This is one of the best times to be pulling shards for a fairly new account because I need epics, I need legendaries, and honestly, I need food. So these 3-star champions, well, hopefully I'll pull champions to be able to fuse rosin. In fact, if we take a look here at my missions, I need to fuse rosin to continue on the Ramantu missions, which, to be fair, I'm not going to get Ramantu anytime soon, but there's a lot of juicy rewards in here, so that is certainly going to be very, very helpful. I mean, I'm going to get close to this affinity bonus level 3, and that's going to be a bit of a stopping point as well, but, you know, that would certainly help. I do need to work here on this Marius thing, because I've avoided farming Sand Devil, so I probably should do a little bit of Sand Devil just to get this one done. I do not have a really good Sand Devil team, unfortunately. I'm actually struggling even to get to stage 15, and I know some of you guys have actually requested that because I put out the Shogun team recently as well, and I just dropped an Iron Twins video, well, as of the morning of filming this, but you know, probably yesterday for most of you guys watching this. And yeah, it's kind of been rough. So you know, Sand Devil sucks. It's not a very fun dungeon. There's solutions to it. Unfortunately, the easy solution is Godseeker. I do have the Godseeker team available, but obviously you need the Void Epic to be able to do that, and early on that's really hard to do. Just some other quick news quickly before we get hopping on the shard pulls here. I did the Barbarians. I cleared this. As you see, I've got 61 stars here. I got this 1-star clear on stage 25. You can kind of see it behind my head. Ooh. Yeah, I got provoked on the last turn that Syl took for 2-turn provoke. She took a double turn and killed the boss and could not revive. So I lost because I got provoked and I couldn't back out of it. I literally tried to back out of Faction Wars and I could not back out of it because it will not let you pause. Well, it'll let you pause, but it will not let you... Actually, no, it won't let you pause because it actually had realized that the game was over. And once it figures the game is over, it gets rid of the pause button and stops it, either because you're going to die soon or because the boss is going to die soon. So regardless, I will clean up those 2 stars later. Fortunately, it is not costing me anything. I'm at I thought it was 914. I'm at 915 stars. I got 10 stars on Barbarians. I was shorted 2 because I couldn't finish up the rest of that. But as you can see, my demon spawn kind of hurting. So this is a good event to be pulling. So let's go hop over into the summoning portal and start pulling some shards. So first of all, we have this wonderful infernal summoning pool, and I've got 1 shard that this is actually why I built the Sand Devil team, not Sand Devil team, the Phantom Shogun team that I put the video up on earlier, because I wanted to farm to get these 40 prism crystals to be able to pull on this. Why? Because my demon spawns could use some help. Now, I wouldn't mind a second allure, because 2 allures is actually a good way to deal with the boss, and that would actually probably help me in there. I've got an Achak, I just haven't built him yet. I probably do need to build him. He might be the key. Magnar would be an easy win for me. Gorlos would be fine because he brings some decreased defense and some more burns. That would all be good. Tarshan's okay. The rest of these not particularly exciting for me, at least on this account here right at the moment. I mean, Urtikata's not bad, but not really going to help me do what I want to do. She's more of a clan boss champion. And as far as the legendaries are concerned, as long as it's not Tyrant, who is not in this summoning pool, I would be absolutely amazed because all of these would be game changing for this account. Volcanos would be absolutely amazing because I don't have any of the Faction Guardian or Faction Unity champions that we have on any of my accounts now. I had TX on my alt that I gave away, so yeah, I don't have any of them anymore, and I would absolutely love Volcanos on either account, but you know, we're not spending at the moment on the other account too much either. So I did not buy any of these things, even though this was honestly a good event to buy them if you could afford it. You know, spend responsibly, folks, if you're going to spend. And obviously, am I free to play? I am not spending. But I've got plenty of room here, so we are going to pull this 1 shard. I do have a Pepsi. I have a Pepsi shirt on, as you can see. Believe it or not, I had this Pepsi shirt long before I was streaming Raid, but it is very appropriate because Pepsi is not a sponsor, but Pepsi, you could be a sponsor. Think about it. Really, there's just so much money I could make from that sponsorship. It would be absolutely amazing. And I'm sure that the folks of Raid would actually probably be, helpful for you guys as well. So you'd probably get something out of it, but it'd be good for me. So that's the important part. So, Pepsi will bring us some luck. And again, I'd be fine with a lot of the epics here. There's a lot of epics that'd be good. And honestly, even if it's a duplicate epic, that's at least a faction guardian. So let's get something cool. Let's go. Whoa! Woohoo! That is awesome. Probably one of the ones I wasn't as excited on this account, but that's fair. On this account, Heffrack will be great. The big problem with Heffrack is the way you build Heffrack traditionally is in stone skin, and I don't have a lot of stone skin that's worth building with yet. So he is still an absolutely beast of a nuker. So what does this dude do? He gets this A1 here, attacks one enemy, he gets an extra hit if this attack is critical. So basically he generally gets 2 hits because he's a nuker, so you're going to build him with a 100% crit rate. At least you should be building your nukers with 100% crit rate. Now there's a reason to not build him with 100% crit rate. I will state that. So we'll get to that a little further in his kit, but generally he should have 100% crit rate when he's attacking with his A1 ideally. His A2 is an absolute nuke, attacks all enemies, it's got a huge multiplier, and it places an extra hit on targets with less than 50% HP after the first hit. Will ignore 15% of the target's defense. So he's already ignoring a ton of defense. You can certainly build him with the Savage, and that'll get him up to 40% defense, or even, can build him, I guess, with Merciless, get to 50, 55%. You can get pretty high with that. And he's ignoring a bunch of defense, plus you get Helm Smasher. Suddenly he's ignoring 75 to 85% defense. That is absolutely huge. Becomes pure damage. He hits, generally knocks everybody down to about half, and then kills them with the second hit. It's great for killing Rhodoses. It's great for killing a bunch of champions with that second hit. Now, it does mean he does have to get the first hit to hit hard enough to actually do damage, which is part of the problem he can have, because if the first hit is a wet noodle, then you're not going to do a lot of damage with him. He's got an A3 here that places an increased attack and increased crit rate on him, and then grants him an extra turn. It's a 4-turn cooldown, so it's effectively a 3-turn cooldown because he gets the extra turn. He can certainly reset this one, which is a 4-turn, bookable to a 3-turn cooldown. In fact, it becomes a 2-turn cooldown, but since this is on a 3-turn cadence, you kind of end up on a 3-turn cadence, and that's fine. To be fair, if you don't need the increased attack because he's there, and you don't need the increased crit rate because you've built him with 100% crit rate, which you don't have to because he buffs himself, but you probably want to, and we'll talk about that with his passive, then you could save this skill, attack with this, and then use this to get an extra turn in to possibly help reset this skill. And then if you have the mastery that if you kill somebody or do more than 30% damage, you could possibly reset a cooldown of a skill by 1 turn. There's a good chance he can go in with this once. Next time he gets a chance, take this turn, get the increased attack and increased crit rate, and then go again with this skill. Absolute beast of a nuker. Super, super squishy. He is the definition of a glass cannon, which is why you generally build him with stone skin. But he's got this passive here. So whenever an ally is killed by an enemy, instantly activates his scorn skill, which is this thing, and will not put the skill on cooldown. If there are multiple champions this team with skill, only one will activate. So the reason you build him with stone skin is one of the tricks you can do in arena is build him with stone skin and then put him with another squishy champion next to him, and that squishy champion will die, and then he will just absolutely obliterate your enemy. And in fact, one of the fun things that a lot of people like to do is they will pair him with like Sun Wukong, who's generally squishy and you generally don't put in stone skin. And so the enemy kills the Sun Wukong, he goes, while he's under his stone skin and fairly slow, absolutely decimates the enemy team, and if they're still alive, Sun Wukong gets back up and then kills the team, and if he doesn't get back up, Heffrack actually takes a turn and then kills the team. So Heffrack is going to be great. He is going to be a lot of fun to build. He is going to help me with Demon Spawn, because part of the problem I have with Demon Spawn is I'm not doing damage. So unfortunately, Demon Spawn finished for the day, so I certainly can't build him for today. But you know what? I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to book him right away or not. I did just finish booking Syl, and I've got a couple of free books left. So we'll see. But I am super excited to build him at the least, because even if I do not book him, which to be fair, I have not been booking a lot of my nukers yet because I just haven't had a lot of spare books. but he is going to be an absolute amazing champion to use on this account and is going to help me finish Demon Spawn, which gives me an interesting problem to have, because if we go not that far, well, first of all, we have 103 ancient shards. I need to make 2 spaces of room, so I will do that quickly and we'll get right back. But first of all, we've got 3 interesting champions here to talk about for this raid up. Now, of these 3, I think this is the problem. This dude here, who does a bunch of poison and poison explosion, would be the most interesting on this account. Although, I think that he would be interesting as well for needing damage on Demon Spawn. But now that I have Hefrak, but he would still be helpful in Demon Spawn, because what he brings the block damage, which I don't actually have anybody with block damage. So he would bring something I don't have anywhere into my team, and he brings another block buffs and decreased defense, which would make him very useful for Hydra. Even if he's not the damage dealer that a lot of people hoped he would be a good damage dealing champion. He might find his way into my Demon Spawn team, but I think overall he would be a very good champion to have. Honestly, the other thing, I could see bringing him into my Iron Twins team, because block damage is one of the ways that you can make that Iron Twins team survive a little bit longer. So if I can time that block damage properly right, I can get most of my champions to have block damage on them occasionally when he goes off. Not too bad. We'll see. And then he has a passive that does some fun stuff that gives extra damage. If allies are under buffs, play some with allies less than 50% HP, they take 10% less damage. So he has some damage mitigation as well as some other abilities to buff damage as well, which makes him very interesting as well. So I think he's the champion to go for. And if I pull him, I'm going to then pull for Bellar. I don't want to quit. I wanted to pull. Dang it. There we go. So let me go make 2 more spaces so we can just pull all these in one go, and I will be right back. Quick addendum here before we actually start pulling some shards. I just want to let you know I've got over 100 ancients here, and you may be wondering, how as a free-to-play have I saved up 100 ancients? Well, it has been entirely from doing training tournaments and events and other stuff like that, plus Clan Boss has been, somewhat generous to me, and I'm actually doing Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. I've finally gotten a occasional 2-key Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. I still say occasional because it's not a 100% 2-key, but we're working on it. And it's between that, I decided to spend 90 of my gems, or 900 of my gems, to make it a nice, even-ish 100. So that is how I got all of those. So I don't want to hear guys saying, oh, you started spending money on... No, I did decide to spend gems for the memes of 100 ancient shards. So, let's have some fun with this. So we have 103 spaces. We have 103 shards. This is by far the most shards I have ever opened on this account. We do have a fusion coming up. So if you're worried about doing the fusion, you certainly may want to hold off on pulling some of your ancient shards. If you are a later game account, that does make some sense to hold off maybe pulling some of the ancients, because there's really not anything super exciting going on if you want to save them, unless you are really going for one of these 3 champions here. Like on my main, I will admit I will be pulling a little bit later because I don't have Bellar the Lost, and he's the only one of these guys I don't have, and I could get the reward that gets me some cool stuff if I can get Bellar the Lost. So that seems worth it on that particular account. But I don't have a lot of sacreds, so maybe the fusion might be difficult for me to do. I have 23 voids, but honestly, we're going to have 2 weeks before we get to the 2x voids, and 30 voids should be enough for a summon rush with a 2x voids. So I'm not super worried about that. Plus, as a summon rush, there's other ways to get points in the summon rush as well. So maybe I'll have a chance to pull Rosin by then too. We'll see. So we are going to pull 3 singles first. We have our Pepsi here in hand. Pepsi has already brought us amazing luck. So if I do not get a legendary, and to be fair, I think I got a Brogni somewhat recently on this. Actually, I know I got a Brogni somewhat recently, and I believe it was Ancient Shards. So I am not due, but with 100 shards, it's kind of around the expected rate. If you, all things being equal, your expected rate for a 2x is around 80 to 85 shards to get a legendary, but that's on average, and that includes hitting Mercy. So keep in mind that a lot of these things of expected rates and average rates include occasionally hitting Mercy, and we're talking about averaging over thousands and hundreds of thousands of pulls. So for you, rates may vary. Hopefully your rates are lucky. Hopefully Pepsi brings you some luck, or perhaps your beverage of choice. If you don't want Pepsi, you're wrong, but you know what? You're allowed to be wrong. We can disagree on beverage choices. So let's go. All right, we are not going to talk about the rares, other than I'm certainly excited to get rares that would be very helpful for the fusion for Rosin. Rosin Epic Fusions. There's a legendary coming, isn't there? There better be a legendary coming after this. Ooh, that's not a legendary. That's a dog. All right. And it's not the legendary dog because he's not in the pool yet. So, we've got 10 pulls. This is going to be amazing. This hopefully will be account changing. There are so many epics I want. Just to go quickly into fusions here for Rosin, I need a Rock Tooth, although I can farm a Rock Tooth. So if I end up with only out a Rock Tooth, that's fine. Penitent would be great, and Channeler would be great. So those are really the two we are looking for. Anybody else is gravy because it helps to fuse this stuff. I'll certainly just take a flat out Lich or a flat out Blood Feather as well. Probably would rather be able to fuse them because then I can fuse them for champion chase points if that's what happens. So, that would certainly be helpful as well. And then on the Mikage part, we're certainly looking for some of the other Mikage epics. So Ulfrig, looking for Aishma, looking for Moonbeam, and looking for Lady Quillen. And then Andalia as well. So I'm looking for those. I guess if I pull one of these legendaries, that's fine, but I'd rather not pull a legendary. I'd much rather pull the epics and fuse for the legendary because, again, extra fusion points. It seems kind of cool. All right, so we are going to pull. Let's go. Valerium, is the 2X on? I mean, to be fair, I'm probably getting taxed for the legendary I already pulled, so, yeah, that's fine. Let's go. There's an epic. I've got a Infernal Baroness already. I do not have a Corpse Collector, not a particularly good epic, and so nobody we're really looking for so far. None of these are the rares I'm super excited about. I didn't actually check the other rares beforehand, but I didn't see anything super exciting. Let's get something cool. Let's get something cool. Polarium, is the 2X on? This is, wow. 2 epics in 33 shards on a 2X. The 2X is on, right? We're going to double check this. Yes, the 2X is on. We have a 16% chance of getting epics. Come on, Pepsi. You're not doing your job. Do better. There we go. I believe that's a dupe Juliana, but I can use some Faction Guardians. That is a dupe Kellen. This is the account of dupes. So I have now pulled 4 epics, 3 of which are dupes on this account, and there are so many epics I don't have. Hellborn Sprite is nice. I need to hold on to a Hellborn Sprite because Hellborn Sprite has increase the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn on a 3-turn cooldown, and she brings Weaken. So I want to hold on to her because I do have Brogni and Titus, so I could certainly build an infinite shield comp with I get enough other champions for this. I think I saw Valerie as well as an option to do that with as well. Certainly not the best option to do it with a Valerie, but it's an option, so we can certainly give that a try. Mikage would be great for that for the 3rd one if I have to do that as well, but I do want to be aware of epics and legendaries and rares that do that so that I can start collecting them because it makes sense to do that with Titus. But let's get something cool. Jingle Hunter. I believe I've got a Jingle Hunter, so we are now 4 of 5 epics that are duplicates. This is painful. There's a Valerie, as I mentioned earlier. Come on, Polarium. Let's get something cool. So many epics I would love. Ooh, Miscreated Monster. He is a good epic. That is also a new epic, so that's great. I love Miscreated Monster. I don't know if I'm going to roll to build him right away, but I'm definitely holding on to this dude. He's got the ally protection on a 4-turn cooldown. Would be nice if it was lower, but he's got the 4-turn cooldown on this, heals him by 50% and puts a continuous heal in his champion for 3 turns, so he keeps on healing, makes this ally protection very, very good, and then he'll put fears out if people hit him with the ally protection. So part of the advantage of this is a very good spider champion for progression in spider. Also, because he's got a 50% chance of placing a stun unbooked, so you don't have to even book this stuff on this big smack of an A2, I should say. And he puts a shield up based on the damage he does as well. That's often a very, very chunky shield on every ally. So if you're struggling to survive in Spider and pull a miscreated monster, he is key to getting through to like Spider 20 on a lot of teams if you're doing a more traditional just beat the spider down team and you're struggling to get up to spider 20. He also can be good for some of the burn strategies as well, because stunning the spiders can help make sure that everyone survives, plus he'll put up a good shield. And then he's got a stun on the A1 with a chance to do decreased defense as well if the stun is placed. Honestly, not too bad for crowd control and for progression as well. He can be very helpful in a lot of the secret rooms and the Centranos rooms as well. So good champion to have. Nice to actually have one on the account. Welcome, dude. Much appreciated. Let's get some more interesting champions, though. There's plenty of champions that I would build instantly as epics. If I pulled one, I would like one of them. It would be super helpful. Not pulling any of the champions I really need, even the rares. This has been kind of painful, but we've got 30 of these bad boys left, and we are nearing hopefully legendary. I would love to pull another legendary. It would be absolutely amazing. But again, good epics would be great. You know, just some points on the champion chase would be good. Haven't had a really crazy epic pull. There's kind of crazy. I think I've got a Crimson Helm already. I'm not sure. Basilisk is interesting. Basilisk I may have to build. Yes, Basilisk has got the A1. He can do some decent damage with an AoE A1. Put him in stun set. He can be helpful for faction wars. He may actually become useful for faction wars for me. And if I can't get rosin, if I can't fuse rosin anytime soon, I need more damage on my lizardmen, and I could certainly use some of the control. So he becomes an interesting option. He's got an A1 stun. It's a 100% stun on a 4-turn cooldown. It could be a 3-turn cooldown, so that's not too bad. And then he's got a self-revival, 8-turn cooldown, but it's a self-revival and puts block damage on him for 1 turn. Can book down to 6. I'm not going to book this dude. There's just no reason to book him, honestly. He doesn't need a book for this, and he doesn't really need a book for this. Yeah, he actually could be interesting for faction wars, though. He's not like a top tier epic, but that AoE is great for a stun set, and you can build him for some damage, and he could be very helpful in Lizard Faction Wars. So actually, this is somebody who could be helpful. And then Crimson Helm, she can solo Bommel if you hate yourself and you don't mind spending a bunch of time doing it, because it is a very, very manual process. But she's actually pretty solid for some of the secret rooms as well, because she's got this block damage on herself and then a provoke for 1 turn on everybody there for 3-turn cooldown. It's a 95% chance provoke, which is close enough. But she also has the revive on death and increased defense on all allies for 2 turns once this is booked, and once she's ascended as well. And then she's got a decreased attack. So useful skills, and that block damage is why you can use her for Bommel, because you can manual her Bommel and get that block damage, but it is manual to trigger it at the right time because it just doesn't line up properly, which is painful. So yeah, all right, well that's 2 epics. Let's see if we can keep up this 2 epic pace and get some cool more epics, preferably new epics. Would definitely appreciate new epics. I would definitely appreciate new epics. Well, last 10 pull, folks. 1 Pepsi and a dream. Rector Drath. That is, I think, my 3rd Rector Drath. That felt painful. But you know what? I got a legendary out of the Prism Shards, so I guess I cannot complain too much. Let's just double check in case I missed anything here. Did I get any more for this? No, doesn't look like I got any more for this, which is fine. I wasn't expecting more for this. And then for not you, I did not get anybody new. Did I get new? I got I did get a Preserver. So that's good. So I got 1 of these. I did not get a Channeler. And I did not get a Rock Tooth, but I can farm a Rock Tooth. So we are getting closer to rosin. That's great. And then we can just double check here. So Faction Guardians here. I don't think I pulled any Banner Lords. Yep, I already had 2 Jingle Hunters, so that's a food Jingle Hunter. Interesting. Unless I want to empower a Jingle Hunter, but I don't want to empower a Jingle Hunter. Nobody wants to empower a Jingle Hunter. Jingle Hunter's not good. Dupe Juliana, so that's some extra epics power there. That's not too bad. No, I did pull one of you guys, so that's a dupe there. You know, this is just the account of dupes. It is just so painful at some point in time. Oh, no extra dupes here. Got plenty of lizardmen to duplicate. Yeah, I mean, the fact that I'm filling up some of these things and there's still so many champions I do not have dupes of, it is just kind of sad. I think I pulled, yep, got another dupe Infernal Baroness, so got some extra points there. Got 3 Maz Mages, not super helpful. I already had 2 of the Crimson Helms. There is my 3rd Rector Drath and my 3rd Sepulchre Sentinel. Just so painful, guys. But, you know, hey, I appreciate you guys hanging around. You guys have been an absolutely amazing audience. And get my Kellen the Schleierreich in there. That's actually not a bad faction to have more Guardians. And, hey, let's see. How did I do overall in the Champion Chase points? We are just short of that Legendary book. So, yeah, I will probably end up getting that Legendary book because I will probably have a few more Ancients that will pop up just because doing Clan Boss and other stuff like that. Get all this stuff here for you. I've got the energy as well. I can grab that a little bit later when I'm ready to use it. Give you guys one little bonus little thing here. We are going to grab anybody not worried about. You know what? Let's not worry about you as much. Let's see if we can get a soul for Mr. Hefrak. And we got 1 soul stone and a dream. Yay! That's an epic. Ooh, that's a Dur the Hungerer. I don't know if I've got a soul on that dude. That's, I did not. That's actually really good because that will help me because that's a bunch of extra HP under the Hungerer. So, hey, you know, you get some useful stuff. So that was great. Overall, I needed help in Lizardmen where I'm getting close, but I needed more damage to get past the next couple stages for Lizardmen. And I need help in Demon Spawn. So I got help in Demon Spawn. I got help in Lizardmen. I still don't have a lot of help in Ogryn, but honestly, I think if I build out a second Ugo, I think that will be enough for Ogryn for me to be done with it. Plus, I'll probably have to 6-star my Bellower for some damage. And, yeah, then I just need to... Yeah, we actually may be almost done with Lydia. So that's actually pretty exciting. That Hefrak pull may be the key to getting done with Lydia with the champions I also pulled from this stuff as well. Build Basilisk up to 5 stars, and between Broadmaw keeping everyone alive and Venomage doing a bunch of poisons and other stuff, I might be able to get that boss done. We'll certainly see. That one might be kind of tight, and I may have to make several epics of 6 stars. And that's kind of where we're ending, because we are in the final 30 stars for Faction Wars. So again, I really do appreciate you guys. You guys have been an amazing audience. You guys have been an amazing community. I really do appreciate and love all you guys. Let me know down below if you've pulled anything this weekend, what you've pulled. Hopefully you've been, blessed. Assuming I'm streaming this CatHerder, which I believe I should be, so a little bit later today, if you're seeing this in the morning on Saturday, I'll do some shard pulls and some takeovers. It'll probably be a briefer stream because I have my granddaughter's birthday I have to deal with later in the day. But, if you want to wish my granddaughter a happy birthday, I appreciate it. It's one of my little one. It's the youngest granddaughter we have, and certainly excited about that because it is her 5th birthday, so that'll be a lot of fun. So happy birthday to her, and happy birthday to any of you guys out there. If it happens to be your birthday when you're watching this, congratulations. And I will talk to you guys later. Appreciate you again. You guys are absolutely amazing. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and have some great luck pulling some shards, and have some fun playing Raid Shadow Legends. I've been Bront CatHerder.